Hi everyone, welcome to Infinity Capital. My name is Raj, and today we are going to talk about Dabur. I'm sure you've all heard about this amazing company. So Dabur was founded in 1884. More than 100-year-old company. Founder was S.K. Burman, belongs to the Burman family now, headquartered out of Ghaziabad. So I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of you may have heard about Dabur. For people who have not heard about the company, you can come on the website and check out, what the company does. So Dabur is of FMCG company, a very old Indian company which is into a variety of products. So they make hair oils, and they make shampoos, health supplements like Chyawanprash, honey. Most people know Dabur honey and Dabur Amla Kesh oil. Then they make the Dabur Hajmola, which is Pudin Hara. These are some of very well-known products. Real juices, a lot of people know real juices. Odomos, Odonil, so Odopic. These are some very old brands. Dabur Meswak, Dabur Babul, Dant Manjan. These are some of the brands that everybody has heard about and everybody knows about. So overall, they have a sort of a very diversified product portfolio, and they cater to you know a in the FMCG segment, they cater to a wide range, in a wide range of sort of products. So apart from that, let's do a quick check on Dabur as to what kind of acquisitions they have done. So Dabur has been continuously acquiring companies abroad. So if you'll see, they in 2010, they so starting from 2009 they acquired Femcare. You know, in 2005 they acquired from the Balsara Group this Babul Meswak. So this company has been continuously acquiring other companies and increasing its product portfolio. We'll do a quick check on the fundamentals. It's a 94,000 crore market cap company. It's a large cap company. Has been on the Nifty 50 for a very long time. Promoters hold 67% of the stake. It's very encouraging to see a company so old and the promoters have not diluted their stake. So this is very encouraging. Public only holds 7.5% of the stock. So this is something that you will see in a lot of these kind of stocks, FMCG, legacy brands which have been in business for very long. Companies like Pidilite, companies like Asian Paints, Berger Paints, these sort of companies, Nestle, Marico, Hindustan Unilever. The promoters are holding a large number of stake, large number of shares are with FIIs and DIIs. So this is something which I like to see. So this company essentially also forms, for me, it falls in the consistent compounder category, wherein the profits are consistently compounding, the company is consistently growing and giving great returns. So 2,100 crores of cash flow from the operations, very good numbers. you know you'll see very little dilution. So if you see, there has been very little dilution after 2010. And as far as the borrowing goes, they have been sort of minimizing their borrowing since 2017. So that's a good thing. uh, from the from the investment segment, they have 4,100 crores of investment, so that is also very good. Cash, they have around 1,300 crores of cash on the balance sheet, so the balance sheet looks very strong. Let's do a quick check on the PNL. So if you will see the kind of product segments that they cater to, so the customer care business is the major contributor towards their sales. The next big contributor is the foods segment, wherein they have the Chyawanprash and the juices and all the other products. As far as sales go, their sales have been gradually increasing. If you see, since the past in the past 10 years, the sales have doubled and they have been gradually increasing. their margins are pretty stable, and they have actually increased in the past 10 years, and it is around 20-21%, which means they have pricing power in their products. Their profits have been steadily rising. So if you see, the profits have been steadily rising from 1200 crores in 2016 to 1700 crores in 2021. Profits have almost tripled since 2010. And what you'll notice is, although sales have only doubled, but the profits have tripled. This has come on the back of improving profit margins. So most of these companies, since they have been in the business for a very long time, they have better operational efficiencies, their inventory management is much better, and hence their profit margins have become better. So on a quarter on quarter basis also, you'll see that the numbers are pretty encouraging. Let's do a quick check on the PE front. So see, most of these stocks, they are always a little higher on the PE front, because it's a great brand, and that's why you will mostly find it is trading a little higher on the price to earnings. So the median PE is around 49, and the stock is trading around 55. So around in 2018 and 19, the stock was available at a good price to earnings, and what you will see is that it has it has been trading pretty expensive from its price to earnings since 2017. However, you'll notice that price to earnings is not the only metric by which we value this stock. I look at the aspect as to if the company is constantly generating profits, if the sales are growing, and if the profits are coming in. Now, the most interesting thing that you'd like to see is that if you see in a 5-year period, the company has given a CAGR of 12%. In a 3-year period, it has given a CAGR of 11%. In a 10-year period, it has given a CAGR of 17%. So rather than putting my money in FD, I would put my money in Dabur. Let's look at the technical perspective. So these horizontal lines denote, every year, in March, dating back 10 years. So if you will see, I just wanted to show you what the returns have been year on year. So 11% year on year as compared to last year, and past 2 year it has given 24% returns. Past 3 years it has given 65% returns. Past 4 years it has given 101% returns, and past 5 years it has given 111% returns. And if we consider the past 10 years, it has given 445% returns. So what I'm trying to show you here is, guys, we can't look at the numbers in isolation, and if you look at a 2-3 year view, you will always find that Dabur has given you great returns. And this is the reason why this consistent compounder is a part of my portfolio. It is a very well known brand, very well loved brand. They have very good penetration in the market, and they have consistently performed and given great returns. Hence, this company forms a part of my long-term portfolio, and that is also the reason why I call it a consistent compounder, because this has been consistently generating good returns for me. Thanks a lot, guys.